Alright, what's up everybody? My name is DeltaWolf556 and I'm back with episode 64 of my Fallout New Vegas playthrough. Last time I traveled around the Mojave Wasteland and collected all of the snow globes and sold them to Mr. House, who I also just met for the first time in this playthrough series. In today's video, I'm just outside of Raoul's shack, and I'm going to be picking him up and doing his companion quest. Here we are at Raoul's shack. He's got a little malnourished Brahmin calf, which is unfortunate. But he's got a nice little garden around here, too, which is pretty nice. Hello there, Raoul.
Oh, it's you. You need something repaired or something?
Actually, do you want to tag along with me?
Anything's better than staying here. Let's go.
And then Raoul's given us the regular maintenance perk, which while Raoul is my active companion, the condition of weapons and armor decays more slowly. I believe 50% slower is what the regular maintenance perk does. I could be wrong on that. Now, Raoul's quest is an unmarked quest, meaning we don't have or get any quest markers or map markers to guide us on where we have to go or what we have to do. We basically just have to figure it out on our own. So, Raoul's quest is basically about his depression and repressed feelings about his difficult life, and his belief that although he is a practically immortal ghoul, he is getting too old to be in battle or to be of any use anymore. So, we're basically just going around talking to some older gentlemen who are still doing things with their lives despite their age and injuries in order to kind of persuade him out of his depression and help rejuvenate his self-confidence. Loyal, back at the Nellis Air Force Base, is one of those older gentlemen.
Isn't that bomber a beauty? Thanks so much for making an old man's dreams come true.
Can I get a code to use the VR pods in the mess hall?
No, those aren't for outsiders to use. Leave them alone.
Okay, I was just curious.
Anything else you need? I've got work to do.
Well, the only thing I could say is I can ask you about the VR pods again, or goodbye, so.
Bye.
And now Raoul should initiate You.
That's a good thing to see.
See, there we go. I was gonna say that, but then she started talking and then distracted me. So what are we talking about?
That loyal guy. He's getting up there in years, but he still finds a way to make himself useful to his people. If you ask me, that's better than withering away all alone or holding on to some faded piece of glory from your past.
Loyal's using his years of knowledge to help his tribe. I think that's a pretty noble goal.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
So what's on your mind?
Old history, boss. I grew up in a place called Hidalgo Ranch, just outside Mexico City. It wasn't much, just a bit of a farm, with a house for 3 generations of Tejadas. I wasn't the best behaved kid. I was quick with my hands, with a pistol or a wrench. And I wasn't afraid to get into fights over it. I never killed anybody, but I had my share of run-ins with the police. Mostly my family kept me in line. This was before the war. We were far enough away from Mexico City when the bombs fell that we missed the worst of it. But things got bad quick. Just a few days after Mexico City was vaporized, refugees started pouring down the road to our ranch. We helped who we could, but there were so many. Eventually, my father started turning people away before we ran out of food. Things got violent. My father and I got our guns, and we drove them off.
What happened then?
About 24 men came back in the night after we'd gone to sleep. They set fire to the ranch house and barred the doors from the outside. My whole family was trapped inside. I smelt the smoke, and I got myself and my little sister Rafaela out through a window. But everyone else, my parents, my grandmother, my 2 brothers, and 2 of my sisters, all died.
What happened then?
Rafaela and I ran. We were pursued by some of the men who attacked our home, but I was always a good shot. The ones who came after us, I killed. The rest, I left be. I had to take care of Rafaela, not throw my life away on revenge.
You can't think it was all your fault. No one could stand against a dozen armed men all alone.
I know that, boss. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just getting sentimental in my old age. Anyways, forget it. Just wanted that off my chest.
Morning.
And before we go on any further, I just want to mention that yes, Raoul is voiced by Danny Trejo. Ah, there's Corporal Sterling. I looked everywhere for him around here, because the NCR's first recon got moved to Camp Forlorn Hope, and they're no longer in Camp McCarran. So hello again.
Took some skills to bring down that fiend. You done good.
Thank you. Now, we've already heard and listened to all of his dialogue, but I'm going to re-exhaust all of these dialogue options, so that way Raul can hear them. Goodbye, Corporal Sterling.
Always a pleasure. Keep yourself safe.
Thank you, you too.
Got a second to talk, boss?
There we go. Sure, what's on your mind?
Meeting Corporal Sterling, well, it kind of got me thinking. Here's a guy that's been beat all to hell, right? I mean, he could have retired from the service, but instead he signs back on and does what he can. You think he did the right thing?
I think it's good that he's so devoted to his duty. More people should act that way.
You think so, boss? Because I remember a time when a lot of people stuck to their duty no matter what. It ended with nuclear bombs falling on my hometown.
You're talking about the Great War? What do you remember about it?
After the fire, I knew my sister and I couldn't stay at Hidalgo Ranch anymore. The refugees still wanted me dead. They even put a bounty on me. I remember how scared Rafaela was. I told her if she came with me, we'd see the vaqueros. She used to love the rodeo, especially the trick riders. We figured maybe we could find help in Mexico City. We were young. We didn't know what had happened, really. We didn't understand about the bombs.
Wasn't Mexico City basically annihilated in the Great War?
I don't think it was as hard hit as D.C. or Bakersfield. But it was bad enough. By the time we got there, the city was a radioactive ruin. Still, the city was full of looters, already forming into the beginnings of raider tribes. Crime was bad before the war, but now it was a nightmare. We were living like scavengers, scraping by on what little food we could find, always looking for medicine for my burns. And then, of course, the radiation started to kick in, turning me into this handsome devil you see before you.
Sounds pretty bad.
You're a poet of understatement, boss. But there were moments it was almost worth it. I still remember finding that novelty costume shop. I was just looking around for something I could slice up to wrap my burns when I saw the vaquero outfit hanging on the rack like it hadn't been touched. I took it, not like anybody else needed it, you know, and wore it back to our camp. Rafaela laughed. For the first time since the bombs had fallen.
Wasn't it dangerous to be dressed so noticeably?
It was. I started to build up a legend. Sometimes it headed off trouble, but most of the times it just started more. Young punks looking to prove themselves would come looking for me, but my eyes were sharp and my guns were quick. For a while, it seemed like we might even survive there, until Rafaela.
Go on. What happened to Rafaela?
She went out to find some food one day. I was sick, so I stayed at our camp. I guess it must have been the beginning of radiation poisoning. Anyway, it was supposed to be safe, but some raiders happened to pass through where she was scavenging. I won't speak of what they did to her. When I found her body, the only way to recognize her was this funny little scar on her knee from when she was a little girl.
That's terrible, Raul.
Terrible doesn't begin to cover it, boss.
Yeah.
I let my whole family down. First the ranch, now Rafaela. I was the last Tejada. I guess maybe I went a little crazy then. I took my guns and went back to that market. I didn't have many bullets, but I had enough. After the raiders were dead, I salvaged what I could from the store. I was tired. I just wanted to be alone forever.
So what did you do?
I left Mexico City behind. I made my way out to the Gulf Coast. Eventually, I found an old Petro Chico refinery nobody had claimed. I stayed there for a little while, and I thought a lot about my life. I thought about the guns I'd lived by, and what they'd gotten me. I decided my guns hadn't gotten me anything, and it was time to give it up. I took off the old vaquero outfit and put on a Petro Chico jumpsuit. The name tag said Miguel, so I started using the name myself. Eventually, I made it to Arizona. That's another story, boss.
I like Raul. Back in Novak, there's 2 more buildings, or I guess rooms, that I haven't gone into, and 2 NPCs I haven't talked to yet. And I'm already idolized by Novak because I've already done everything I could to help out around here. I just haven't gone inside Ranger Andy's bungalow. Hello there, Ranger Andy.
We haven't met yet. You must be new in town. I'm Andy.
Yep, what do you do here, Andy?
Right now, a whole lot of sitting on my keister and counting cracks in the ceiling. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. On better days, I help keep the peace. Boone and Vargas watch the road. I watch the town. Tell myself I'm doing some good.
You're with the NCR, right?
Was with them. That was back when my arm and leg used to work better. I still like to pretend I'm a ranger, though. I'll check in with the guys up at the station pretty regular on the ham radio. Sometimes they stop by, tell me they're paying their respects, the smug bastards. They haven't been responding to me last couple days. I guess they got tired of hearing me talk, but it still got me a little worried. Hell, listen to me talk, like some damn mother hen.
Would you feel better if I checked on your NCR friends for you?
No. They're gonna think I'm having trouble letting go. They're good soldiers. I don't give them enough credit.
Tell me about the Rangers.
They're the NCR's finest. A one-man platoon, each of them. You got a job where even thinking about it would scare a man senseless? That's when you bring in the Rangers. And if you see a squad of veterans, guys who are in their black armor, well, you won't find a more beautiful sight.
Did you do something to your leg?
Yeah, twice. Actually, the first time it was more like half my body. Knocked me out of the Rangers. This time, it's mostly just reminded me how useless I've gotten.
What happened?
A few years back, we get a tip that some Legion slavers were holed up in this burnt-out house a few clicks from where we were stationed. We get there and it's deserted. No sign anyone's been there. I mean, nothing. As we're leaving, I hear something behind me. I turn around and there's this kid, just skin and bone, and he's looking up at us and he's scared half to death. Been hiding in a closet.
What did you do?
I go to grab him out of there and I notice he's holding something in his hand. Something metal. He shuts himself back in the closet and that's when I see the grenade he's left by my feet. They do it a lot, the Legion, using kids. They know we'll hesitate. Anyway, that was the first time. Second time, I fell down those stairs in front of the motel. Just in case I got to thinking I'd put it all behind me.
The speech at 30? Your body is injured, not your mind. You're kidding yourself if you think you're useless.
Huh. People don't exactly line up to find out what's in my head. Can't remember the last time someone suggested I knew something worth knowing. You know, maybe there's something I can do for you. Since you've gone to all the trouble of flattering a crippled old soldier, there's a move we have in the Rangers for knocking an opponent off his feet. Saved my butt a bunch of times, maybe it will for you too. Let me show you how it's done.
New unarmed technique, Ranger Takedown. You've learned the Ranger Takedown special move. To use this technique, initiate a power attack while moving backwards. You'll drop your opponent to the ground. I think this is like one of the coolest features about like stuff that you can earn in game. Like these unarmed techniques. You get the con trick and the Ranger Takedown. Those are the only two in the game, unfortunately. Would have been cool if there were some other NPCs that gave you maybe some that affected melee weapons or something. But I just think it's really cool that like you could just earn these things.
Boy, you picked that takedown right up. I'm impressed. Must have had some prior training, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit. But it was nice talking to you, Ranger Andy.
Hey, wait a sec. I know what I said, but if you find yourself by Ranger Station Charlie, let me know what you find. I'd be interested.
Alright, sounds good. You heard the man roll. We're gonna go check out Ranger Station Charlie for him.
Hey, boss. Can I ask you something?
Sure, what's on your mind?
What do you think of guys like Ranger Andy?
What do you mean, guys like Ranger Andy?
I mean guys who have a world of experience doing what they do, but have to give it up because they're getting old and slow or too injured.
Just because someone's crippled doesn't mean they're useless. All that experience is invaluable.
Yeah, I suppose you could still teach. Take a less active role in the world. That's not so bad.
Is that what you did?
Would it surprise you to know that I used to be a gunslinging adventurer? I left everything when I left Mexico. My home, my family, my name, even my face. I know it's surprising, boss, but I wasn't always just handsome. As far as the world knows, I was Miguel, and I was okay with that. I headed north for a while, and ended up in Tucson. Not Tucson, by the way. Things were good there. Well, maybe not good, but better than Mexico City anyways. I found myself a little shack, started fixing things.
Fixing things?
Oh, sure, boss. I was always good at fixing things. Some I fixed for the town, some I fixed for other people, some I fixed just for the hell of it. It's a better way to use your hands than killing. And even then, I wasn't getting any younger or faster. I lived there for a long time, kept to myself, didn't get into any fights. Hell, the only reason I even kept my guns oiled was professional pride.
Why aren't you still there then?
Getting there, boss. I'd been in Tucson. The locals can call it Tucson all they want, but it's Tucson, damn it. About 75 years when she showed up. Prettiest thing you ever saw, boss. Maybe it was just a trick of my senile brain, but I swear she looked just like my Rafaela. Her name was Claudia. She ended up taking work at one of the brothels in town. I never went to her, of course. How could I? But I looked after her in my own way.
What happened with her?
This was a long time ago, before Caesar's Legion pacified Arizona and brought the raider tribes to heel. A tribe came into Tucson one day. More a gang, really. Dirty Dave and his 6 brothers. They were looking for bullets, and I sold some to them. I figured if I did that, they'd leave town before they tore it up too much.
But they didn't, did they?
No, boss. No, they didn't. As I was saying, I hoped they'd leave the town in peace. Instead, they decided to stop at Claudia's brothel to take the edge off. I don't know which one of them got rowdy first, but by the time I heard the screams and got my guns, it was too late. They shot up the brothel, killed 4 girls, and taken Claudia for their sport.
Did you rescue her?
I went after Dave and his brothers. They had a head start, but they slept nights. I didn't. Took me 3 days to catch up to them. Claudia was dead when I got there. They put a bullet in each of her eyes. I couldn't do anything except avenge her, just like Rafaela. I charged into the middle of their camp and started firing. 2 of them were dead before they knew I was there. The other 5, though, they shot the shit out of me. I would have died, I think, if I wasn't so full of rage.
How did you survive?
By being a meaner old cuss than the rest of them, boss. I wanted to keep living until they weren't. So I just kept shooting until they were all dead. I was in pretty bad shape in the end, though. I don't know how long I laid there, with the sun baking me and the buzzards chomping at me. Eventually, I got the strength to start moving. Some long time after that, I managed to drag my carcass back to town.
What happened then?
When I recovered, more or less anyways, I left Tucson and headed west. I ran into Tabitha at Black Mountain, and well, the rest you know. I swore I was done with the gunslinging life. I was too old, too slow, and too beat up to protect anyone anymore. I thought I was done forever, but after traveling with you, I realized I've always had my doubts.
Doubts? About what?
About whether I'm really too old to keep living the life of a gunslinger after all. And after seeing what you go through, boss, I think I am. From now on, I'll let you deal with the fighting and stick to keeping your gear working. I don't want to slow you down more than I already do.
If that's what you think is best, I won't stop you.
Thanks, boss. I'd hate to think I was disappointing you with my life-altering decision.
Raul has given you the full maintenance perk. This replaces the regular maintenance perk. Now, I believe full maintenance is a 75% weapon degradation instead of a 50% that the regular maintenance perk provides. Alright, and then you can see his Petro Chico outfit, or jumpsuit, is now armored, which is pretty cool. So that is Raul's quest completed. Now, like I said, it is an unmarked quest, so we're not going to get an XP dump. Well, some unmarked quests do give you XP dumps, but this one doesn't. It just gives you the satisfaction of helping out Raul. And here at Ranger Station Charlie, we'll go ahead and head on... Oh, look at that, a Legion raiding party. With pulse grenades and plasma grenades and stuff. Oh, look at it. We got some random NPCs coming to help us. You killed that dog. That is unforgivable. Well, that's funny. Wasn't expecting there to be a Legion raiding party right here. What the? How he's still alive?
The customer who'd been in the strip told me to face
Cut it out.
That's funny. I was not expecting this body to go flying like that. That was quite comical. I think they took the guns off these corpses because they were better weapons than what they have, which is good for them. That's going to allow them to live a little bit longer, you know, or help defend themselves a little bit better. Anyway, like I was saying, here we are at Ranger Station Charlie. Now you can see there's no NPC compass ticks anywhere. because there's obviously nobody outside. Now when we head inside, you can see blood splattered on the wall and corpses on the ground. Right here, there's Ranger Station Charlie audio log 2. We'll grab that. We'll find the first one first. And like the Legion typically does, they booby trap the corpses. So we'll just disarm that mine. We'll take the dog tags. I believe this one has a mine under him. Yep. Disarm that. Take your dog tag. I don't think there's anyone else in here. No, there's not. And then in this room, I believe there's a tripwire in this room.
The old man will crawl around in the dirt to keep hidden.
There we go. Disarm the tripwire. And then bottle cap mine behind there. I'll take that because bottle cap mines are actually not bad at all. And now there is the rig shotgun under the bed, which I can't do anything with, I don't think. Yes, I can. We can disarm it, which will won't give us the shotgun, but these ones are not. Well, I could see under your body, and you actually have a decent amount of stuff in your inventory. Huh? That's surprising. Typically, the Legion takes everything. But whatever. Oh, there it is. I missed that the first time. I thought that audio log was in here, but I guess not. So, Ranger Station Charlie audio log 1.
Drove the raiders off. No casualties. In the meantime, patrol's back. They're late. I hope they got a good excuse. What took...
An audio log 2.
This is a message to the NCR from the Legion. We are coming for you. Run, and we will catch you. Hide, and we will find you. No matter what you do, you are all going to die. We took one of the women alive.
And they weren't joking. They did take one of the women alive, like they said in that audio log. However, even though I've already cleared out the fort and killed all of the legionaries who were there, you can't save her, because the only time she spawns into the game is when you're siding with the Legion and you decide you want to fight in the arena, which you can only fight in the arena as a male courier, I believe. Yeah. And then when you fight her in the arena, that's the only time that she'll spawn into the game. And you can't, like, save her or anything. You just have to kill her because that's all you can do.
Any word on Station Charlie?
Yeah, some unfortunate news about Ranger Station Charlie. So I went over there, but everyone there was wiped out.
What? What happened?
Members of Caesar's Legion ambushed them.
Those were good men at that station. Good men. This whole town was sleeping a lot easier because of them. Now, who knows what we're in for? The Legion? Christ. We'd be better off with raiders. Well, thanks for telling me. I know that knowledge didn't come without risk. Here, take this. Courtesy of the Ranger Veterans Fund. Look out for yourself.
And thank you, Ranger Andy. You look out for yourself, too. And with that, that's going to bring us to the end of the episode. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate you dropping a like on it. If you happen to be new, would appreciate you subscribing. I'd say this is a pretty successful episode. We finally helped out Raul and completed his companion quest for him. I like to think him becoming a full-time mechanic is the better ending. You can make the argument that him becoming a vaquero and picking up his guns again is the better ending for him, which, you know, goes both ways. I just think personally him becoming the mechanic is the better of the two endings for him. So, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, nighttime, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. And I'll catch you guys later. DeltaWolf, out.